The Rams are coming off what is probably the most frustrating loss that we've experienced in recent memory at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Now they look ahead. Week 6, they've got another injury-ridden team in the Baltimore Ravens. But we have to look at what went wrong for Los Angeles. The secondary. A lot of fans are questioning, hey, do we trade for a cornerback? Does Chris Shula need to change what he's doing? Who's really the problem in that secondary? Well, here on the First and Tuna podcast, every single week as a review, we look at the All-22 coaches film. And this episode, we're focusing on that secondary. I've got a lot of concerns. I have a lot of opinions based on what we're going to watch today. So I'm going to give you the overall summary. But first, I want to thank you and everyone that has watched our videos, that has hit subscribed. Our goal for this season was 1,000 subscribers. We're just shy of 900, and it's barely week 6. Thank you so much to all of you. We love doing this. Independent reporting is my favorite thing to do in the world right now, and you guys have been giving me motivation to keep doing this every single week, so thank you. And if you have not yet done it, but you're watching me right now, consider subscribing. Hopefully what you see today is something that you want to see every single week. And as always, as we're going through the film, comment below any questions, concerns, or what you want to see done better or differently in future film episodes. So before we dive into the film, we're not going to do any commentary on the rest of the week or the team, but I want to give you some overviews on what we're about to watch and my takeaways. First and foremost, 49ers offensive line, got to give them credit. They're a bigger catalyst to helping Mac Jones in the passing offense really dice up the defense like they did on Thursday. The Rams defensive line and their defensive scheme, what they want to accomplish is get pressure with 4 rushers, that front 4. So that way they can do whatever they want on the back end. When you negate that 4-man pressure, you leave your secondary in a very vulnerable spot. So that's one point. Second point, I don't care that it's Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne. It's Kyle Shanahan at the helm. Kyle Shanahan is very, very good, has had success against the Rams in the last 5-10 years, whatever it has been. In past weeks, we've seen man blitzes, mixed blitzes, crowding the line to confuse the quarterbacks. Didn't see a lot of that this week. Saw a lot of cover 3. Cover 3 in this scenario, you're asking that offense, the 49ers, to just take everything underneath and be patient. And they did it. They thought they were going to bait Mac Jones into mistakes and go deep. They just took whatever. We'll take 4 or 5 yards. We think we can make you miss tackles and turn those 5 yards into 10, 15 yards. And they did that quite often. Are there problems on the boundary with the talent that is at cornerback right now? It does appear that way. I do still have faith that Emmanuel Forbes, Cobie Durant are going to progress and get better throughout the year. I think this is the worst that they're going to look. They're a little bit undersized, so tackling on the perimeter seems to be a problem. But also when you have these guys sit back in cover 3 and not press the issue, not a lot of man, underneath routes are going to be open all day. You're leaving your guys in a really bad position. And lastly, I think a bigger culprit is the communication between the linebackers and the safeties. A lot of the success that the Niners did have, you're going to see, came over the middle, came over cover 3 beaters, crossing routes, in-breaking routes that were confusing Quentin Lake, putting Landman in bad spots. Cam Curl was slow to react on a lot of stuff. Cam Kinchins was out of position. So, since we have a lot to get into, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's dive into that secondary film right here. So, first play, quarter 1, 13:30. Where this play is really going to show as a baseline what I'm talking about with Chris Shula's overutilization of cover 3 and or miscommunication and sloppy technique by the players execution-wise that left a lot of stuff open for the Niners underneath. So first of all, some of you asking, what the hell is cover 3? Cover 3 traditionally is some sort of safety. We'll use this play for example. Cam Curl is going to be the deep third safety, so he's going to cover a deep third of the field. Usually the cornerbacks will cover the other deep thirds. So cover 3, the deep zones, 1, 2, and 3. Underneath, you're going to have, what we got? 4 minus 3, 7. You got 4 guys underneath coverage. Sorry, I had to do math there because he's rushing, back. The rest of these 4 guys that are going to be in coverage, yeah, it depends on what the play caller has. Maybe you get a fire zone blitz where 1 blitzes, but in this case, traditionally cover 3. You're going to get one of these guys to go into the flat. You're going to get one guy kind of sit in this hook curl zone, middle zone hook curl, and another guy into the flat. So If you ever play Madden, you know, this is kind of the concept you're getting. Boom, balloon look, boom, balloon look, balloon look. Yeah, if you play Madden, you're used to seeing maps like this, just so that way, hey, this is your understanding of how I'm seeing cover three and what I'm talking about. The weak points in cover three, a lot of underneath stuff, because I think their landmarks are set back, I think closer to 7 to 10. At least these guys underneath are. That leaves 7 yards and under this area of the field pretty susceptible to getting torn apart, which is what we saw a lot. Also, these middle seam areas you can kind of pick on around this area. And we're going to see a lot of that too. I'll explain it as we go. But just so that way you guys understand what cover three is. In this play, this scenario, deep. Kinchins is actually going to be spying. I think he's working down to the flat. But he's also kind of keeping an eye on Christian McCaffrey because, he's a big game breaker for the 49ers. Cam Kinchins, I don't know what's going on with his vision. Really kind of got lost in the sauce there. He's the reason this play gets given up. This isn't on the corners like everyone just blames all the time. Looking back at what Kinchins did, he's starting to come down, right? He's playing run maybe. He's watching Christian McCaffrey. The tight end does a really good job working Lake into where Cam Kinchins is. So you get this little pile up right here. Look, boom. Like, it's just not sound. It leaves the Christian McCaffrey wide open. 1st and 15, they pick up the total first down. That's not good. So that is setting the stage for what we're going to see a lot of on this this film study. So how was cover three getting really torn apart? Here we are, quarter one, 12:45. This is the same drive. Niners actually get another penalty, so they're set back again, 1st and 20. There's 2 different times in this drive where the 49ers had first and extremely long, and really the Rams defense let the Niners off the hook. Remember the over-reliance on cover three, how it was getting torn apart, like I explained in the previous play. So what does it actually look like? On this play, I'm going to run it through for you, and then we'll break it down here in a moment. If I can get this screen correct for you guys. Jesus. There we go. This play is going to go to Kendrick Bourne down here at the bottom. And poor tackling leads to an exacerbating effort on the defensive side of the ball there, giving up a first down. So what the hell happened? Let's go post motion here. Kendrick Bourne goes in motion. Realignment. So cover three beater. These guys need to have really good communication underneath, because there's going to be, to beat cover three, a lot of teams will run these crossing routes. Here you get the tight end clearing out first, and then Kendrick Bourne runs kind of like a slant right here. That's meant to stress one of these guys. Whichever one of these guys is Mac Jones's key. I'm assuming Quentin Lake has the flat out here. So they're going to stress Nate Landman. You want the tight end across his eyes, across his face, to see how he reacts. If he sits and follows the tight end, you're going to throw to Kendrick Bourne. If he bails out and says, all right, I'm going to pass this guy off to my next defender, I'm going to take what's following behind him. There's a small window where he might hit the tight end instead. But works to perfection, because remember, cover three, this is a weak point. He's bailing to flat. He's going to try to sit somewhere in the middle here. You kind of got this opening right here. Who's responsible for this opening? It's usually a safety that's coming down into the other hook curl zone. It's a little bit late though. Watch curl. Watch his hesitation here. So, combination of things. Good scheme design by Kyle Shanahan, because hey, looks like cover three. I want to attack this short hash mark sides of the field, mixed with bad technique. Cam Crow comes down. Here he is. Starts reacting, but takes a bad angle. And good block by Juszczyk. So we're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of stress from the Shanahan play calling, put on these guys intermediately, down here in this box. We're going to keep seeing that a lot. Yeah, the communication between the safeties and the linebackers was just as bad as people are claiming the cornerbacks were. That's at least that's what I'm seeing so far. Let's go to the next play. Oh, but before we do move on, there was a positive thing here. Josiah Stewart. I don't know if this counts as a pressure, but watch his bull rush on Trent Williams. Watch the rookie. Watch how far back into the pocket he takes Trent Williams. I would say it's pretty damn impressive. Obviously, it doesn't account for anything on this play, but it was just something cool that I noticed. Quarter 1, 10-12 on the clock. 49ers have marched down on this first drive. They're going to end up scoring on this play. This play really frustrated me. This is just, honestly, I chalk this up to one of two things. Either Omar Speights really got out of alignment and or Kyle Shanahan. This is what I believe more, the second one. Kyle Shanahan understands the tendencies of Shula's defense so well that he understood that if I motion Christian McCaffrey slightly here, if I can make one of these linebackers bump over just enough, it's going to cause stress on Quentin Lake, because if they're in cover 3, which I think they are again, here, and here, Quentin Lake is on an island alone for 1, 2 guys. Communication between him and Cobie Durant needs to be very, very good, because if they cross patterns, you got to know who's taking who. A lot of times you get these rub routes where a guy's wide open because they didn't communicate and pass those off appropriately. What ends up happening here is even worse. Omar Speights bumps over. Absolutely nobody in the middle of the field. I have not seen that in a while. Pretty crazy. All that happens, if you missed it, Christian McCaffrey, when he goes in motion, it bumps over Omar Speights ever so slightly. There's just no one here in the middle of the field. That's essentially a hot route there. You see how Tongas takes off out of his stance here? He can't believe it. Look how quick he's trying to get there. Yeah, just a natural hole there. Cam Curl is like the nearest defender. He can't get there in time. There's a miscommunication here. Watch these guys up top. They both go with DeMarcus Robinson here. No one picks up the tight end. And I really think it is this little motion right here by Christian McCaffrey that set that up. They had him dialed in from the start. Kyle Shanahan walked down the field and said, all right, you're going to keep running cover 3 against me. I know what your defense's rules are. I know your defense inside and out from the past years we've played. We're going to abuse some of those rules and get guys open. So that's how they scored on that first drive. Here is one of the other set of problems that I noticed. Watch up top, Cobie Durant is going to give up a pass to DeMarcus Robinson, former Ram. He had a pretty decent day getting open as well. This is first quarter, 6:30 on the clock, 2nd and 6, giving up a first down on this play. What I'm talking about, so let me run this back here. Robinson's up top. He's going to be running deep comeback route. Cobie Durant, in his zone coverage, does a good job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback, but he completely turns his back to DeMarcus Robinson. He has no idea where the wide receiver is. There wasn't even a fight at the ball. That is, in my opinion, crazy unacceptable when it comes to coverages. What are we in here? Yeah, some sort of zone here. Some sort of like 3 mix, 4 mix, because you're going to have Cobie Durant is just bailing. Cam Kitchens is helping deep. Earl is helping deep as well. Underneath the zone, underneath zone, underneath zone. And I think he's more kind of like a man look or just kind of being sticky with his receiver. But look at Cobie Durant up top, man. As he's going through this, right here, where his eyes are, if you ever worn an NFL helmet, he can't see where DeMarcus Robinson is behind him. And credit to DeMarcus Robinson, smart wide receivers, understand angles, understand leverage, and also understand, like, all right, I know Cobie Durant has a bad tendency to just completely turn his back to a wide receiver. So when DeMarcus Robinson doesn't just run straight, he kind of starts bending this to stay behind Cobie Durant because he knows he can't see him. Breaks. The only reason Cobie Durant starts breaking is because he notices Mac Jones is winding up. Oh shit, I lost my receiver, and there you go, first down. So I don't know if this is just a Cobie Durant thing. Hopefully we can pick this up as we're watching this together. This is a technique issue. Did Durant do this last year? Is this what's being taught? Is this just a bad habit that's been picked up because, hey, whatever landmarks they're told to look at? Overconfidence in his abilities to read the quarterback. I don't know what it is, but one more time, yeah, just turns his back. And this is a bad roughing the passer on Josiah Stewart too, so it didn't even matter if he did cover it. It would have been a first down anyways. But this is just another issue that, hey, when you're calling these passive play calling on top of technique issues, you're going to run into just an overall horrible night for the secondary. All right, here's an example of me just honestly giving credit to the 49ers. The play calling, very unique. They came up with stuff that I haven't seen other teams run. Twists on plays that you're expecting to really abuse the techniques of the Rams defense. Here you're going to get a 9-yard pass to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Pre-snap, he's going to go in motion here across. Normally, like you're expecting, if you're Quentin Lake up here, captain of the defense, very smart player. When you get this motion here, you're expecting, because of momentum and watching film, he's going to go into the flat or motion flat to wheel if he wants a big play. Normally, that's what that is. If not, just maybe a check down, something like that. As this play develops, you're going to notice Quentin Lake take the outside because he's expecting one of those two things. He's like, okay, let me make sure he doesn't beat me outside. Boom. Instead, he turns on the dime and cuts upfield into the seam. Great play call. That's knowing, hey, if we do this motion, we can probably get this safety out of position. And great job by Mac Jones as well of not feeding into it. He keeps his eyes downfield. That makes Nate Landman start moving backwards this way out of the way. So Mac Jones does a good job moving Nate Landman with his eyes. Now that he's out the way, you've got this window for the throw. And it's a good throw. Great catch, too. Yeah, that's just very, very unique play calling. Over reliance on tendencies of the pass. I don't know how this popped on film, but I ain't seen this before, man. Motion into a seam like that. Pretty unique. And let's look at what coverage they were in, too. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's probably 3. Yeah, it's a 3 look. So even though Cam Kitchens comes down late, he's helping make sure watching this vertical here. He doesn't want to just give it up and leave Durant on the island. But Cam Kitchens is going to be coming down here. You've got deep help, and then got to just kind of down here. Yep, he's going into the flat. So we're in cover 3 again. Again, unique play calling. We're not going to go deep. You're going to keep running cover 3. All right, cool. We're going to run a counter to beat your coverage underneath in cover 3, get closer to a first down. It's not all terrible. When they did finally mix it up and get away from cover 3, there was a lot of good things that happened. This incompletion on 3rd and 1 was a good play. Unfortunately, the Niners ended up going for it on 4th down on the next play and ended up converting, so that sucks. But I do want to spotlight someone like Nate Landman. Nate Landman on this play does a really good job because Juszczyk comes in motion. Nate Landman does a really good job of redirecting him. Redirecting, if you're not familiar for whatever reason, let's watch it here. Juszczyk coming in motion. He wants to get a free release and work up into the wheel. Nate Landman meets him around here at the line of scrimmage, and I'll pause it when the impact happens here. Motion, play action. Does a good job chipping Byron Young. When he comes through, here's Nate Landman putting hands on him. Don't just let him do what he wants. Make some contact, get him off rhythm. That off rhythm, makes Mac Jones hold the ball for maybe a quarter of a second, a half second more. That's all you need. All you need. Because of that, Mac Jones gets rid of the ball before, he's unsure of where Juszczyk is really going to break. Incompletion. Very, very good coverage there. Really good job. This is why I have a problem with the Rams just playing so far off all the time, trying to instill that bend but don't break, because you miss this stuff. You allow too many free runs off the line of scrimmage. I do like seeing this. Short yardage. Cool. Get up in his grill. One of the better reps by Darious Williams. It's okay to give up the inside here because you have more help on the inside, especially deep with Cam Curl. So he gives up the inside. Stay sticky with him. Breaks down. He's in a good position to play on that. So, yeah, it wasn't all terrible, but it did come few and far between. And usually when they didn't run cover 3. All right, back to cornerback talk. A lot of talk about these DBs being, oh, they're so trash, they're so awful. I told you one of the things I said at the top of this video, you have to give credit to the enemy. Mac Jones, Shanahan, a lot of these offensive players were either in their bag or playing fucking lights out. And this is an example of it. The play is going to go up top. The D-Rob up here, we are very familiar with him. He's covered by Cobie Durant. This is going to be a back shoulder throw that's perfectly executed. And I am in the camp of arguing the back shoulder fade, when run properly, thrown accurately, is an unstoppable play. You can get this you can get got on any DB. I don't care how good you are. This coverage is good. Cobie Durant up in his grill, press coverage. Gives him a hand check. He's staying with him. He's on his hip. He's in position. And if this is a fade, if this is anything, a stop, he's in position. But, man, it's like they had a counter for every single thing. Like, they're impressed. This is essentially a man look up here. How do you beat man? Late hands, throwing where the guy just simply cannot see because his back is to the quarterback naturally. And DeMarcus Robinson has late hands grabbing that. There's absolutely nothing Cobie Durant can do. Perfectly executed, perfectly ran play. Yeah, nothing you could really do about that. I'm defending Cobie Durant on that play. Another thing on this play that I do want to point out, even when they aren't blitzing, like, okay, you don't have to blitz every single play. I would like to see it more. It's more fun. I like to see him be more aggressive. But 3rd and 9 here, even if you're not going to bring pressure, I need to really feel like these guys are actually blitzing. Here, you're getting 4 rushers with Nate Landman showing blitz. Tank McCullough maybe showing blitz. The only one who's really going to feign that they're blitzing is Nate Landman. He's going to take a jab step and then bail out into zone. I don't think he does a very good job. A lot of reps I've seen, it's not very convincing, and that screws up the rest of the pass rush. You need to be convincing enough to hold this guy, because you're going to see a stunt here. I forget who crosses, but one of these guys is going to loop into this area, hoping that this guard is not paying attention. But because the fake is not good, this left guard gets back on track and helps block on the interior. Watch this. Yeah, you're hoping to get Braden Fisk running right down the pipe here to put pressure on Mac Jones. But because Nate Landman doesn't really sell it, yeah, the left guard just turns back around. Here we go. He's not buying that. Nate Landman's foot's planted. It's a poor rep of a fake. Turns his head. Oh, hey, there's a guy coming this way. Boom. Blocked. It may not seem like much, and maybe he doesn't get the sack, but it's enough that if he's not here and Braden Fisk is running right down the barrel, you make a quarterback flinch. Like, you do that enough times, they will flinch, they will hesitate, you will get pressures and sacks that way. But when you half-ass your rep that way, you kind of screw up the rest of your teammates. That's why the 4-man rush just was not working at all. Yeah, just something I noticed. Okay, remember when I told you guys the secondary is not my strong point? So if I've been absolutely wrong through the first 20 minutes of this is a good example of that. I might be wrong again. So Here, like, sometimes things look like other coverages based on how the play is developing. I thought originally this was cover 3. It does look like a zone. Like, there's some guys playing zone. Cam Curl is absolutely playing a deep zone. Nate Landman is absolutely playing short middle zone. The rest of them, I thought maybe it was a type of zone look. Yeah, Forbes maybe bailing. Cobie Durant maybe bailing. But also, it does feel like a little bit of man as well. He's manned up here. And Lake is manned up with Kendrick Bourne, who ultimately ends up catching the ball here. What ends up happening, Kendrick Bourne's going to run about a 10, 12-yard route, sell the outside, break in, and the pass is going to be immediate from Mac Jones for a good pass. Boom. And this sucks because Quentin Lake is one of the better defenders. He's one of the smarter IQ guys on the field. He's a captain. We're a huge Quentin Lake fan here. What he does is he turns his hips outside. Here at the top of the route, you're going to see Quentin Lake, boom. He's completely given up the inside. So his hips, his body is facing outwards. He's assuming this is an outbreaking route. Kendrick Bourne realizes this. He has the advantage. Because Quentin Lake is fully facing this way, it's not even a hard route you have to do. Just run inside, just based on leverage and timing. Kendrick Bourne's going to get to the inside faster than Quentin Lake can finally turn his body around. Combined with a just well-timed throw by Mac Jones. Watch Mac Jones here. I'm going to run it back. Watch when he throws this ball. It's right as he's breaking. It's accurate. Sometimes there's no defense for a perfect pass. It's a cliche, but it's true. Yeah. The only thing I would say that should have been help, you got to give credit to the power that Christian McCaffrey has. Christian McCaffrey down here. Cam Curl, I believe, is absolutely watching him. He's so fixated on what Christian McCaffrey could do because he starts, as he leaks out this way, it looks like Cam Curl is starting to creep towards that side of the field. He's watching him and then stops. And because of that, he's not in position to help underneath. Maybe Quentin Lake was assuming he had help here. See that? If Cam Curl isn't so fixated on Christian McCaffrey, maybe he's sitting more to this side and then in the inside, which I'm assuming he should because with 3 receivers on this side and the running back on that side of the field, this is the strength is to the field. But he's going to the weak side because of Christian McCaffrey. Leaves him wide open. So, again, not just the cornerbacks. Bad communication, bad technique, not sound all across the board from the safeties in the middle of the field. So it wasn't just the cornerbacks. But on to the cornerbacks yet again. This play is going to be on D. Will. I would say Darious Williams was not great by any means on this night. It is safe to say I see why he was benched against Tennessee. He's I don't know if he's lost a step. I don't know what's going on, but for whatever reason, he is not breaking on the ball well. We're not seeing the Darious Williams that Rams fans are used to seeing because he's very productive. Like, he's a good player, but whatever reason, it's just not working right now. Down here at the bottom, we're gonna get another cover 3 look. Look, we're way off. Darious Williams is covering Kendrick Bourne. There's going to be some mix-up again. Remember I said it wasn't never just one thing. It felt on any play. It was always like multiple things going wrong. Cam Kinchins. Remember we saw him in like the first play run into Quentin Lake and the receiver? It's going to happen again. So Kendrick Bourne's going to run a curl route. Darious Williams is going to run with him. Cam Kinchins is going to run into them both. Watch. What's part of the problem? Here we go. Boop. Doesn't look like much. Looks like he evaded him, but he didn't. He got Darious Williams tripped up a little bit. So I'm not fully blaming him for that. I'm blaming Darious Williams for after the fact. There's a moment here. Mac Jones has not thrown the ball yet, and it's about right here. Go get back attached to your guy. Why are you like just waiting and watching, and then he attacks? So run this again. Watch Darious Williams. Watch how long it just takes him to go from, all right, I got pushed off. Let me get back to my guy. Go. Boom. It's just sitting back, man. It's like this bend but don't break mentality is straight up indoctrinated them so badly that they're sitting back. Like, you're not supposed to really want them, allow them to catch stuff. Like, if you can be there and do something about it, do something about it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, man. Especially considering there's only like 2 guys out on routes. Rams are not blitzing. Niners are max protected. So let me start at the beginning. We're gonna play action, max protection. There's 2 guys in routes. Let's count a third because Christian McCaffrey is gonna, after play action, start creeping out to the flat. Demarcus Robinson is gonna run a sit right here in the middle, and you get the curl route. There's only 2 routes. There's 7 Rams players in coverage, and both of them are open. Look at this. He's open right here in the middle of the field if you wanted him. Nate Landman's not getting there. If Mac Jones had decided to rocket this in there to D-Rob, it would have been a catch. How in the world? Look at this. Freezer right here. How in the world? I understand why there's no pressure. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys blocking 4. Okay. There's only 2 guys in routes. You have 7 guys in coverage, and somehow both of them are open. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, your cover 3 is not working. For whatever reason, the landmarks, the rules that you built in is not working. In no world should a very simple play action max protection against a rival team that you're familiar with get open. And not even hard concepts. There's no double moves. It's simply miscommunication. You get a reroute up here. Nate Landman bites over here. Forbes is nowhere to be seen. And there's absolutely no one in the middle of the field. That's tough. Plays like this are frustrating. You know, Darious Williams makes a terrible play here, but also like the scheme. This is a perfect storm of all the shit I was telling you guys about. The scheme itself is not sound right now for whatever reason. I don't know if it's how it's taught this season for the Rams, or if it is purely just execution. That part I don't know. I'm not in the room, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing. All right, staying on the topic of both situational football and also the passive play calling with this cover 3 shit. Here we go again. I'm gonna run it. This is a very critical point in the game. Everyone's belief about game-winning plays, game-losing plays happening at the end of games. It's a kick, it's a touchdown. No, there's absolutely game-losing plays that you can have in the middle of a fucking game, and this is one of them. Look at this. Rams are down by 7. Critical point in the game. 1:11 on the clock. 3rd and 10. The Niners are not in field goal range. They're on the other side of the 50. You get a stop here. Like, even if you give up 5 yards, they're punting the ball. You give Matthew Stafford the ball back with a whole minute left. All you got to do is just stop him from getting 10 yards. But the Rams are not good on 3rd downs right now, at least in this game, in this scenario, because they do the same shit again. Let's look. Get a motion. Another motion. Oh, guess what we're in? Looks like a cover 3 look, or at least maybe a quarters look. Again, my lack of expertise in coverage, so forgive me. But from what I'm seeing, Durant is going deep. Williams is covering a deep. Tank goes deep, and it does look like Cam. I don't know if he's got like a deep middle zone because of the 3rd and long, but maybe he's deep as well. So let's see where they land. Oh, I am completely wrong. I think I'm completely wrong. It's like a rotated 3. It's like a disguised 3 because he goes deep. Quentin Lake bails deep. Tank stays home, and he's covering a deep 3rd. So it might be like a quarter half. deep quarter, and Cam's responsible for maybe this half of the field, and Darious Williams is just playing way off. So could be a number of things. The whole point is, regardless, what are the landmarks? What are we supposed to be doing here? It's 3rd and 10. At this point, cool. You got deep routes. Here's the first down marker right here. And here's a lonely tight end all by himself. Slow to react. Mac Jones is winding up the pass. Here's nearest defender, nearest defender, nearest defender. No one's really reacting yet. Now they're reacting. And he's already halfway there. Poor tackling. First down. You know, that's a backbreaker. That's a game-losing play. You go from getting the ball back in, getting a chance to tie the game by halftime in a game that you're getting severely outplayed, versus, I think, when they kick a field goal, they go up by 10 at halftime. That's how you lose games, man. That's not how you close out halves. Again, one more time. So, despite me being stupid with coverages and not knowing, is this quarter, half, or cover 6, whatever they call it, or an inverted 3, the point is, it's passive. Where last week, in this scenario, why are you not running cover 1? Why are you not sending maybe a blitz, fire zone? Confuse them, but rather you want to sit back, and I don't care if it's Mac Jones, I don't care if it's Gardner Minshew. You sit back long enough and you don't get any pressure, he's going to dice you up. He's going to find an open guy. You're asking DBs to cover for too long, man. This same scenario last week, they ran a cover 1 against the Colts, and it ended up being an incompletion. It's very frustrating. Yeah, this is a Shula. It says Shula's footprint on it of this first down's on you. All right, after halftime, we got 3rd and 8 here. Another 3rd down, and guess what they're running? just looking at, so pre-snap, you can guess a lot by alignment. The Rams are also, I don't feel like they've done a good job at hiding alignment. There's other teams that are very, very good at mixing up the Sky's coverages. Like right here, this looks like 3. This looks like, obviously you're giving 8 yards here, so he's probably deep cover. He's off, so it's probably deep coverage. He's staggered, so he's probably coming down, and he's probably deep middle. Like, all right, it's cover 3. 3rd and 8. Who would have thought? Also, I don't remember what happens on this play, so for those of you that want to see my process, I go through a quick watch, and then I write a bunch of notes with timestamps, so that way I remember, like, okay, pull up this play, talk about it. All I wrote on this one was, what the fuck? So I don't remember which play this is, but let's check it out. Get a motion at the bottom. I'm feeling I know what it is. I think it might be D-Will at the bottom. Yeah, this... Oh, fuck, man. What are we doing? The yard to go is the 47-yard line. It's like right here. The routers ran short. And for whatever reason, Darious Williams just tackles the tight end. Boop. Here it is at the bottom. Jake Tongas is going to run a lazy out. And Darious Williams is going to... I don't know what happened here. He's got his eyes on the quarterback. Jumps the route. Like, great initial reaction. He's jumping the route. But he just runs through. He just tackles the tight end. That's so bad. That is so fucking bad. I can't critique anything, man. Like, what are you supposed to do? It's not funny. But holy fuck, that's terrible. And they actually blitz too, which is frustrating. Let's see how many they bring. And they brought 5. Dude, they blitzed. They blitzed finally. Something good was going to happen. So that actually emphasizes my damn point. They brought a blitz, forced him to make a quick pass. And then they just fuck it up. That's just like, man, it's just not your night, man. So, foot in my mouth there. Okay, Shula, you brought the blitz on a third down. I love it. Good job. Was it actually 5? Or did someone drop? So, I don't think this is an actual blitz. You're going to get Byron Young that drops in coverage. Nate Landman's blitzing this way. Tank ends up shooting as well. So, yeah, they're bringing 6 guys. But Tank is only blitzing because Christian McCaffrey is staying in the backfield. And then boom. Good coverage. Good play. Good play call. Terrible execution by Darious Williams. So after that penalty, this is the very next play. This is going to be, see if I can remember correctly, this is kind of like an inverted 2 look. So again, foot in my mouth because I'm fucking terrible at understanding coverages. When I just said that they don't disguise coverage as well, they do it on this very next play. This looks like 3. You got 1 deep safety. You got guys off their wide receivers, giving up a lot of room here. So it looks like, is it man? Is it 3? They've been running a lot of 3, so it looks like that. But it ends up being 2. He's going deep half. Durant has got a deep half. Cam Curl's going to go underneath. And Darious Williams is going to sit down here. Kendrick Bourne, he doesn't really do anything crazy. He just runs a corner and gets open because Cobie Durant, for whatever reason, his vision has not been great. Go. And there you go. Wide open. If you missed it, here's what happened. Cobie Durant takes his drop. He's got his eyes on the quarterback the whole time, which is good. Doing it in his own. He does not even recognize Kendrick Bourne up here until it's too late. All Mac Jones is doing is reading these 2. Boom and boom. His job, this is like, dude, I learned this in high school. You high-low the corner. If it's a cover 2 look, you do have this window up here. So my first read is this cornerback. If he sits down here in the flat, which he does, I'm going to take this throw up here. If you're taking that throw, is it an arced throw? Is it a bullet? Depends on this safety. In this case, it doesn't fucking matter because Cobie Durant is way out of position. This is an easy layup throw. Boom. Accurate as hell, too. But again, it's easy to be accurate when there is 0 pass rush at all. He gets hit at the end of this because he held the ball forever. But this is really, really good pass protection by the 49ers. Very good. Very not good by the Rams. More of the Shanahan offense stressing the underneath coverage, picking on Nate Landman again, a little bit of Quentin Lake as well. You're going to get this bunch formation. This tight end is going to move out of the way. He's going to go into motion, leaving Kendrick Bourne and Marcus Valdes-Scantling down here at the bottom. What you're going to get, 83 is going to run across. We saw this earlier. Same thing. Running across. Kendrick Bourne is going to follow him with the jab step and slant. Mac Jones is reading linebacker to safety. If this linebacker sits on the first route, it's like the exact same thing we saw earlier. If he sits on this route for even a second, you're going to throw off his tail into Kendrick Bourne's lap. Let's watch it. Here we go. Remember, he's crossing. Nate Landman is watching his eyes. Boom. Good job by Mac Jones. Reading the middle of the field, holding him. And I actually want to show you the end zone cam on this one. Despite, like, even if this is a tight window, I do want to give more credit to Quentin Lake as well. When I first watched this, I thought he just gave up the inside completely. He still recovers very nicely. This is just a very accurate ball in a very tight window by Mac Jones, and this angle really does show it. So Quentin Lake here, he's going to recover decently. Go. Here's Quentin Lake. The dive. His, like, I know you can't really see it because of the cam there. I see some white from his glove, and that's the ball. Like, his hand is damn near almost on the ball. Mac Jones places this in a pinhole. Like right in the numbers. That's a very tight window. Gives this guy enough time to brace for the hit. Dude, look, I understand Rams fans. You're pissed. I'm pissed at this display. But when a guy is hot, like Mac Jones was, I didn't give him a lot of credit during the game, just off first watch. But watching back this film, dude, some of the throws that he's making, it didn't matter. Like the accuracy he was throwing with was really that good. And that has nothing to do with the defense or the Rams whatsoever. You're at the mercy of sometimes there's no defense for a perfect throw. Not an excuse. They do have to play better in large spurts, but that is a factor as well. All right, so we're getting deep into the game here. Still third quarter, 8:39. Niners are knocking on the door to go up 24-7. 2nd and 6 from the 9-yard line. You guys know I don't make calls for, hey, this guy shouldn't play. Hey, this guy shouldn't start. This guy shouldn't have a job. I don't do that. But I do understand where a lot of fans are coming from when they talk about guys like Darious Williams. We've seen the penalty earlier. We've seen the slow reaction time on a lot of breaking routes. And this one right here, this play is on Darious Williams, obviously. But I think if there is an elite level type cornerback here, this is a moment where the play changes or the game changes dramatically. I'm going to run it through here first to show you the result, and then we'll break it down. Motion. It's going to be a pass to Kendrick Bourne on the right side. You know, you're watching it, you're like, fuck, he gave up a 4-yard pass. Like, damn it, that sucks. It's worse than that. So I'm going to show you the end zone cam. This one's tough. So you do get pressure here. You get pressure from Braden Fisk. He almost gets to Mac Jones's arm. Braden Fisk is going to split the gap right here. Mac Jones is not going to get a follow through on this ball. No follow through. I don't know how he got the ball out there that far anyways with a flick of the wrist. Impressive. Where this ball lands, you can see it here. You can see Kendrick Bourne stopping. The ball is behind him. Any former quarterback, any former football player knows that is a fucking recipe for disaster. You throw an out route late and behind your receiver, you are asking the defense to score on a pick six the other way. That's a 99-yard touchdown on most teams. Like, that is horrible. That's how you see these pick sixes like that. But because Darious Williams has a slow reaction time right now on this play, and he just doesn't play it well, Kendrick Bourne is able to snag it for an easy completion. Like, now, knowing what you saw in the pocket, watch here at the bottom. Watch how rough it is. It's not just a slow hesitation. It's also, he knows he can't get there. When this ball's in the air, like, you see where this is? If he's attacking the inside, if he's fast enough to do that, like, Kendrick Bourne has to damn near stop to catch this ball. But because Darious Williams was late to it and he took the outside, he just completely took himself out of the play, not competing for the ball. Like, think of how many other DBs. Like, this is why the Jaguars go and draft a Travis Hunter. This is why the Steelers go get a Jalen Ramsey. I hear why fans are calling for another DB because of this play. And I don't even think anyone's really pointing at this play for how egregious it was. This should be taken the other way. Like, right here, he should have had enough time to undercut that, and he's housing it. Like, SoFi Stadium is erupting, or at least, 40% of it with Rams fans. But instead, it's just a very casual 4-yard catch. That's not good. That's not good at all. Part of that is game plan. You have him sitting so far off. And just lack of speed. At least work through him. At least get to the inside and get your hand in there to disrupt it. At that point, like, those are the pass interferences that you'll take. Like, if you're competing, you think you're in good position. Hey, make it hard for them. No, that's a PI that you'll take because it's what, 4 yards, whatever. Rather than an easy catch, zero resistance whatsoever. That's rough, man. I like Darious Williams. I really hope that we see him improve on some stuff. He's shown in the past he can do really good things. But right now in this current rotation, it's a struggle, and it's tough to watch if you're a Rams fan. So I don't know how long to really make this video because it just kind of seems like the same problems over and over. And some of them honestly feel worse than other plays, or like it's getting worse throughout the game. We're near the end of the third quarter here. It's 2:59, 2nd and 9. Niners are up by 6. This one's really, really fucking confusing to me. It ends up being an 8-yard pass to, who's it tied in here? Luke Farrell. I'm very confused by what this is. Yeah, multiple guys open. So I think it's cover 3 again. 3, it might be man. It's just not run well, so it's very hard to tell. So D-Rob is going to be running deep here. You're going to get the same concept again. Cover 3 beater. First guy is going to go across. Next guy is going to show up late here. Put stress on the interior guys, either the safeties or linebacker. Mac Jones does a good job of picking his receiver. DBs do a terrible job at trailing. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's not a true just cover 3. It is a fire zone. You got, who's blitzing here? Yeah, 5 guys blitzing. So rusher, 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 rusher. Nate Landman is the 5th guy blitzing as well. I love it. Love the blitz. We applaud blitzes. I'm always going to love a blitz. It's the rest of this that I'm very confused by. Tank McCullough goes to the flat. So this might be man. Again, I'm wrong sometimes. Boom. He's going to follow Christian McCaffrey. That leaves just Quentin Lake here over the middle. Quentin Lake is way out of position to cover a crossing route. He's very late to it. Nowhere to be found. And if this is man, Manuel Forbes is way out of position too. So it's confusing. I'm very confused. Did Tank McCullough run the wrong thing because he saw Christian McCaffrey? Was it man and everyone's out of position? Is it just a fire zone 3 and everyone's messed up? I don't know if Tank is supposed to sit here and Lake is supposed to sit here. At best, you're asking Quentin Lake to cover 2 guys here over the middle. Like, yeah, man, Mac Jones had a good day. You guys fucking running wide open. So I don't even know what my point is on this play. Like I think when I initially wrote my note on this, I think I put, fire zone 3, Landman blitzing from depth, ineffective blitz because of vacancy. So even though I'm applauding the blitz, Nate Landman, I don't think he's the best at blitzing from depth. He's not super fast. His feign blitzes didn't work like we showed earlier. And here blitzing from depth, without more disguises, Mac Jones is able to tell, all right, snap. This guy's blitzing. I have something coming across. That's just a replacement. That's essentially a built-in hot route. Like, all right, you're vacating this area. I have a guy running into the set area. Boom. Quarterback is the hardest position in all sports to play, but sometimes your job is very simple. Like the task at hand is not difficult. See hole, throw to hole. That's you made this job very simple, that play. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell my point is on this play. It was just bad overall. I'm wrong a lot. I never claim to always be right. I just give my best judgment. But I swear to God, I will rewatch this film, and unless I'm blatantly missing something because I'm stupid, this is the first play that I'm seeing some sort of DB blitz or a blitz off the edge, something unique to just throw a wrench into shit. This is 2nd and 8. This is in the 4th quarter, 10:03. 10:03 in the 4th quarter, and I swear I think this is the first DB blitz. We're going to get Cobie Durant and Tank McCullough off this right side of the line. Let me draw because you guys know I like drawing. Boop, boop. And it works. Fortunately, the run defense for the Rams has been great. They try running left. Defense crashes in on it. Ends up being a good play for the defense, making it 3rd and long. Here we go. Jared Verse does a fucking hell of a job. What a monster. But I just wanted to point out, hey, look, we finally got some variation. I want to show the end zone cam because Jared Verse, when he decides just say, fuck it, I'm going in, he crashes so hard. I love watching little mannerisms. So when he comes at, watch Trent Williams tap his guard, like, hey man, you good? Watch. You got it? Like, nah, hell no, I ain't got it. He does this. Here we go. Taking you for a ride. It's a fun play. Jared versus Strongman. That's Trent Williams. This is Trent Williams, Hall of Famer, one of the strongest guys to ever play the game. And Jared Verse is running through him, making a tackle at the line. Jared Verse is special. Just want to shine some positivity in there. They're like, hey, we got a DB blitz. And it wasn't really until the 4th quarter where the Rams started seeing more success. Obviously, there's factors here. Mac Jones already came into the game injured. He got hit by Byron Young. He got hit a few times. Mac Jones has one leg. But it did still take Shula a good amount of time to decide to change up just the standard zone, vanilla zone shit. Send Nate Landman from depth, fire zone 3 look, and bring man, bring blitz, bring Jared Verse over the middle like he does in this play. And good things happened. I don't think it's a coincidence that as you started getting more success in the 4th quarter and in the second half, and your team's playing better, it's because you're calling different stuff. I don't understand. Like, you're getting beat underneath. I fight back a little bit. Here, you get that. You're getting a man look. Man. Forget what the fucking safeties are doing. Man. Jared Verse is running right down the center of the defense. And something good happens. Mac Jones has to throw the ball away. Why does this work? So I want to, from my understanding of defense and just how I view it, right? When you're sitting back the whole time, you're allowing a free run, like how they have been. They've been sitting back here, right? You're letting the receivers just run short with no hesitation, no resistance. But here, like those situations do not help your pass rush. You don't give enough time for your pass rush. But when you run man, when you do this, the bump at the line, the rerouting, the hand fighting, it makes a quarterback hold the ball for a split second longer. So here, perfect scenario. Here we go. Because they have those little stutter steps, right? That counts. Hand fighting, you can't just run to your spot. That counts. So rather than getting rid of the ball in 2 seconds, Mac Jones gets rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds. Like, I'll do rough counting. Like, I bet you I'm right. Rough counting. Here we go. 1001, 1002, 1000, like about 2.5 seconds. Rather than getting rid of the ball in 2, that extra half second allows the pressure to get at the Mac Jones. So that way he's like, I gotta get rid of the ball. I can't move. I can't run. I'm in the pocket as a statue because my legs hurt. I have to throw the ball away. 3rd and 8. Turnover on downs. The score's 20-20. Momentum's in your favor. Like, I understand maybe you're not trusting your secondary because of whatever reason. But if they were already getting beat underneath, because that's clearly what the game plan was, I don't understand why they didn't mix up sooner. I'm a dumb internet nerd, but I have to agree with the fans here, man. The play calling was very passive, not understanding. We got a few more plays here, and then we'll wrap up this video. So think about what I just said about pressure, about man, about pressuring at the line, making things difficult, especially for a quarterback that's hurt, right? That's hobbled. Now look at this scenario. Still tied game. 7:59 on the clock. They're at their 2. It's a 2nd and 10. For some reason, Shula reverts back to cover 3 because, Niners have clearly taken shots downfield and broken the backs of the secondary over the top. I don't know why you don't bring pressure here. I don't know why you don't play man here to make him sit in the pocket and let your pass rush get there. when you do shit like this, you give them easy free, like you give them freebies, get out of jail free cards. And even if you are going to play a cover 3, like, are you not allowed to do bump and run? Is there no variation to like, hey, you know, freestyle it, play closer to the line, give him a tap and go? Because for however you feel about Manuel Forbes is fast as fuck. You're gonna tell me he's not faster than Kendrick Bourne? You can't press him and then turn around and jet in case you are worried about him running deep. But instead, whatever their landmarks are, they're being taught. Like, this is a coaching point. They're playing off. They're playing very soft because Cobie Durant's doing the same thing down here. Zero resistance. This is just a slant. This is all this is. This is just a simple slant concept with the read being for Mac Jones, Tank McCullough. You know, this is where interceptions could happen, where if he goes to his flat like he's supposed to, but they run a tight end here to hold him. So there's a tight end as an immediate threat. Tank has to sit here. There's absolutely no one here. Because think about it. Think about that last play with the man, right? That they overthrow to DeMarcus Robinson because of the man coverage and the blitz. Let's give that same timing on this play. 1,000, 2,000 and a half. If he's still holding the ball, let's say there was press, he's not open, enough time for everyone to cover their ground. Look at where Jared Verse is. Look at this pocket. Mac Jones can't run. You mean to tell me one of these guys wouldn't reach Mac Jones even if he stepped up? Like, bro, he's not making it out of that pocket. But your refusal to add pressure, it put your defenders in a terrible spot, and it gave the 49ers the ability to just do whatever they wanted on offense. You know what else happens when you blitz? Random shit. Chaos. You put your guys in a position to play free and like, hey, just go make a play on the fucking ball. You know what they do here? Here we go. Tie game still. They're moving down the field. 4:32, 1st and 10. You blitz Quentin Lake off the edge. Oh, look. Damn near almost got a tipped ball and an interception at the line because Mac Jones can't move out of the pocket. Good things happen. Like, this is a result of either one of two things. Either I'm right and you should have been blitzing more. You should have been running man more. And your game plan sucked. Either I'm right there, or Chris Shula is so sick and twisted in the head that he decided, nah, I'm going to hold back until there's like 5 minutes left in the game before I start throwing the fucking wall at Mac Jones. It's one of those two things. Either he's right, like you hold these things back until the most critical moments. I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think I'm right. But yeah, running this play back here. Quentin Lake's going to blitz off the edge, slant a line. Even then, though, I'm still worried about the cornerbacks because he's open. He is still open. So even so, still was not executed well. But that's okay because when you blitz, there's chaos. Things happen. Well timed, well read. Great play by Quentin Lake. All for naught, though. Would have been really cool to see an interception there, grabbed by like a Tyler Davis or Puna Ford. How fun would that have been to see Puna Ford running down the field with the ball in his hand? Okay, I have two more plays here because that's all I can stomach. It's really hard to break down plays for an hour on the defense. I think, played very, very poorly. This play is kind of the summation of everything I'm talking about preparation and the coaching, and this being on Shula. This play, I'm sorry. This feels like a Sean McVay play. This feels like this play was drawn up for Puka Nacua over and over. This is something that the Rams defense sees all the time, but for some reason they're just not prepared and were incapable of stopping this. One, by scheme. Two, by just execution. So how many times do we see this with the Rams? Maybe not an empty backfield. Christian McCaffrey's up here. Out of gun. Kendrick Bourne's down here. Kendrick Bourne's going to get the ball on a slant route. But there's a motion. Here's before the motion. Rams are in a situation they like. Hey, they're in empty. We got our corner on Kendrick Bourne. We have a safety and a linebacker willing to communicate. They're going to cover this tight end. Right? Wrong. Motion. How many times do we see Sean McVay do this? How many times is this guy right here, number 12, Puka Nacua? Why is this motion important? Because now it's so quick, there's not enough time for the defense to react. Cobie Durant is now covering a tight end. You're now asking a safety or a linebacker to cover, in the Rams version, Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua is winning that 9 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times. On this night, it's Kendrick Bourne, and he's winning that. You're asking Tank McCullough to cover Kendrick Bourne, who already has like 18 catches tonight. Yeah, out of position. Boom, slant, easy. And then bad tackling. That's preparation. Like, how many times has this defense seen the Rams doing this? At least the past 2 seasons with Puka Nacua. It's straight out of their own pages of their own playbook. That is one of my most frustrating plays that I watch. Like, this is something you've seen a million times. All right, last play, and then we're gonna wrap this up. I mean, I'm not gonna defend Emmanuel Forbes here, like, per se. He misses a tackle on Christian McCaffrey here, but let's be real. Everyone misses tackles on Christian McCaffrey, so I need that noise to shut up. But this one, it's more the communication again. We do get a DB blitz-ish, I guess. Cobie Durant is down here. I think he's just more man. Maybe he's watching use check, whatever's going on. But more so than the cornerbacks, like I said, the communication got abused by Shanahan on the inside. You got Quentin Lake and Nate Landman here. Running through the play. Boom. Long play by Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, missed tackle by Forbes. A lot of people that happens to. Sucks, but it's just a reality. Communication here I would like to see better. Should be, I think, in a perfect world, if this is, I don't think it's man. This looks like 3. Looks like a 3 look to me again. Deep. 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 And underneath somewhere, you guys are just underneath somewhere, right? Problem is the switching off. Even if he's supposed to go to the flat, why are you hesitating? Don't wait. There's always supposed to be a flat guy, and then 2 in the middle. Something to that regard, right? I would have liked to see Quentin Lake have his ears up. There needs to be some sort of communication call here, because this is essentially a crossing route. Like, imagine... To me, this is the same extent as having a tight end here. Imagine a tight end here, and they run crossers. And you make these guys cross and mix up, and you get those rub routes. Kind of the same concept here, just with the running back. Boom and boom. It makes them cross, regardless. I don't know why or how, but I feel like in a perfect world, as this is developing, I would like to think Quentin Lake saw this, and that there's an automatic check for that. That way he goes to the flat, he stays home to help cover the inside, knowing that you have help over the top if you get beat. But instead it's late. He's late. He's got his guy. Mac Jones just takes the check down. And then, yeah, Emmanuel Forbes misses the tackle. But why is he in that situation? This is schemed up by Shanahan. He wants, hey, I'm 10 times out of 10, I do the same thing. Give me Christian McCaffrey on the perimeter against any cornerback. I'm taking my money on Christian McCaffrey. This is on Shula. This is on his roles and responsibilities he's set on the interior, more so than the cornerbacks. That's my opinion. That's where I'm ending this video. I can't watch the rest of the overtime. You know how it went. But let's recap. Chris Shula's reliance on the deeper coverages, zone coverages, cover 3, without mixing it up, without a real threat of a blitz to put pressure on Mac Jones, especially in the second half. Mix that with, yes, bad cornerback play. A lot of bad technique, a lot of hesitation, a lot of bad angles. But I do think my third point, the communication, the rules that are built into this defense between the safeties and the linebackers, there's a problem there. Other teams have had success there. They just weren't exploited as much as San Francisco was capable of doing, because Shanahan knows how to beat Shula's defenses. He's played them enough times. So I think those are the three big problems. They can fix them. I don't think they bring in a cornerback this week, maybe before the bye, but I would rather see the internal issues get fixed before they bring someone in. Drop a football emoji if you guys made it to the end of this episode. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like about this, your thoughts on the defense, and give me some ideas. Let me know some other players that you want to see that you're curious that we have not covered yet. And as always, subscribe and go Rams.